All the way from the start, I can feel it in my heart, like all the way from the start.
Hey, what's going on out there? I'm Sean Devine. Hope you all are doing well. Today I've got a new tutorial where we're going to talk about mid-side processing. So a lot of questions on the channel. What the heck is mid-side processing? I want to give you a basic, essential understanding of what mid-side processing is and also how it can be really useful for you in your mixes and your productions. And so let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to just define it for you in the easiest way I know how, which is Dr. MS or any plugin that incorporates mid-side processing. You're going to see a lot more plugins these days with this technology. It just means that the plugin is able to separate in a stereo track the mid or the middle, the more centric mono elements of your mix or your track, and the sides, which is the width or what we perceive as the outsides of the mix or the track. Okay, so it just separates both of those. And then we're able to process individually the mid and the side, and then we can mix them back in together. So really powerful stuff there. It actually originated from a recording technique that was supposed to replicate the way that the human ear perceives things. And they mic'd it in this way. But let me give you a visual and audible representation of this just so that you can know what's happening when we're separating this mid and side information. So let's turn on Dr. MS. And I want you just to keep an eye on this visual indicator here. We've got the mid information that's going to be represented here in the center, top to bottom, and then the sides left to right. That's going to give us the width of this mix. So let's play this back for a second.
Some won't see a man's downfall, and they won't tell you like it is. While they sitting on the sidelines, and you out getting your wins. Fear will make a man paralyzed, locked up in the box like a TV telling lies. Folks get led astray before they even realize. Woke up too late in the game and my life flashed before my eyes. Oh yeah, my life flashed before my eyes.
All right, so now let's separate them so that you can hear what the mid sounds like by itself and the side sounds like by itself. To do that, I'm first going to take our side over here, and I'm just going to reduce that to 0%. So we're just going to get the mid.
Some won't see a man's downfall, and they won't tell you like it is. While they sitting on the sidelines, and you out getting your wins.
All right, so we've removed all the side information. Now let's do the same thing. Let's remove all the mid information so that we just get the sides. So let's take this down to 0. So that's all of our side information. And you could hear there that actually some of my punches in my verse are sticking out. It's because those are wide pan. So those are going to be, again, the side or the width, right? So let's just use this in a real world example here. Let's say that with that wide Moog bass line, I like to use those a lot. Let's just say in the mastering that you felt like the low end there was just a little too wide and you wanted to narrow that out. We can use something like this spatial processor with mid-side technology to actually more anchor or center that low end. So what we would do is, since we have the side over here to process, we're going to just put a high-pass filter on it, and we're going to put this up to, let's just say maybe, I don't know, like 500 or so.
Some won't see a man's downfall, and they won't tell you like it is. While they sitting on the sidelines, and you out getting your wins. Fear will make a man paralyzed, locked up in the box.
So if you're listening to that bass line, you could hear that I'm essentially taking all the width out of the low end and more focused on that bass line there. Let's take a look at a couple more examples of mid-side processing in action. Right now I have Ozone 8 opened, and a lot of the modules in Ozone have mid-side capability. So for instance, let's say we wanted to use maybe the exciter. This is a multi-band exciter, but rather than just apply the exciting to our stereo file here, we can switch into mid-side mode. And then again, we're going to be able to separate the mid and the side processing. Very cool. So let's just say that I wanted to add a little bit of tape saturation, just some sparkle to maybe the highest band of just the width. So just the side. So I went over here, I clicked side. So rather than use the highest band here, let's use this band and let's just say from about 7K to about 13K. And we're going to solo that. And then I'm going to switch over to tape. So that makes that piano a lot wider. And then let's unsolo that in the context of the mix.
Patience, this world wants to break me down. Some of you seeking, I'm giving. Fruits of the labor, y'all flexing, I'm living aloud. Aging like fine wine, I'm counting these pennies, place the highest values on my time. Try to be a son of the Most High. Reflect brightness and contrast and low vibes to the depth. Lack of balance and not enough rest. Doubt take me through the fire, woke up.
So you can hear how much that brought out the piano, some of the cymbals just in the width. So you've got a lot of power over how you're shaping your stereo width. It's not just let's make this wider, versus more narrow. Now, you're separating things in this way that give you a lot more possibilities, and you can really focus in on different elements in your mix, in your master. So right now we're looking at this just sort of in the context of mastering or even on a mix. But just imagine when you're using this on individual elements, individual instruments, vocal tracks, things of that nature. So you can also use the mid-side processing on things like compression. Let's say that we wanted to compress, just to get rid of some of the mud or control some of the low mids. Maybe it was a little murky down there. Let's just say that we wanted to create a little curve. I could do that to just the mids. And that way, my wide Moogs bass line that I really like to use, I would retain the width for that by using the compressor just on the mid sections. All right, y'all. So as you can see in here, there's a ton of options with mid-side processing. My personal favorite way to utilize it is with spatial effects, something like Dr. MS. As a mixing engineer, we're constantly trying to find ways to make this two-speaker environment more exciting, to make it more 3D. So that's a great way to utilize it. Explore different options with this, experiment, have fun, try some different things with mid-side processing. And if you've come across some techniques that you think are really cool and useful in your mixes and productions, feel free to leave a comment below, share it with the rest of us. If you learned anything in the video, please like, subscribe, and consider sharing. And we'll talk to you soon.
Cause my soul stays heavy like the D-line. Place my worth up above, never anchor to your love or acceptance. Even when I get quite reckless, I made it through the darkness, thank heavens. Pour my soul out into every word I share with you.